start recording. Welcome to Chapter 14 of Star Wars Ashes of the Empire. I'm Bo, your GM for tonight, and with us we have Doc, and we have Walter Peck, and last but not least we have Wanderer. And we're going to go ahead and kick it off with our intro. Okay. Episode XIV. That's 14. There we go. Episode 14. Infinite Horizon. Though the Emperor is dead, his legacy endures as the echoes of Project Sepulchre continue to ripple across the galaxy. Its greatest secrets were stolen by the enigmatic Lady Vedris and her sister, but the forgotten Lost Horizon station has begun to awaken once more. Across the stars, those strong in the Force are plagued by restless dreams, visions, and an irresistible call to the darkness gathering within them all. Cast aside by her sister, whether as punishment or a final test, Lady Kefra, once known as Emma Bala, has nursed the legendary Jaren Typo back to health from decades of imprisonment in Carbonite. As his strength returns, Emma reveals her sister's ultimate ambition, the creation of an infinite empire forged from the shadows to rule the galaxy forever. And we will change scenes. To Jaren and Lady Kethra. As the camera pans, we're in deep space somewhere in what looks to be some sort of cruiser, whether a pleasure cruiser or a business cruiser. Jaren Typho will have to tell us about that. But at any rate, Jaren hasn't slept well over this past month since he left Dark Lost Horizon Station with Lady Kethra. Both the Carbonite freeze and hibernation sickness has left him partially blind and weakened. But as Lady Kethra found out from her first interactions with Jiro, his spirit was certainly intact, if not more strong, for the tribulations he endured, both as an Inquisitor under the Empire and during his freeze in Carbonite, where he was constantly in conversation with the disembodied spirit of a Sith Lord. So Jaren, as you open your eyes, you notice for the first time, perhaps since you came out of Carbonite, that you feel back to your normal self. You're dressed in light linen clothing, and you hear faint electronic beeping sounds coming from the fore cabin of the vessel. And looking out from your quarters, you see silhouetted from behind Lady Kethra, aka Emma, with her helmet off, pouring through star charts and enlarging and minimizing screens and so forth with her left and right hand. You just see her from behind.
Okay. Jaren slowly and quietly eases his legs off the bunk, rolls his shoulders, and just stretches his limbs just slowly and carefully. How's he feeling?
You feel back to normal. This is the first day. Just like me as a 47-year-old guy, if I woke up and I was 20, you're like, oh, I'm not in pain.
Oh, wow.
I'm not in pain.
Yeah.
My hip doesn't hurt. My hip doesn't hurt.
Wow. Yeah, he's almost forgotten what it's like. And he slowly stretches. Is pleased to find everything full working order and that he's not in pain. And he gets up from the bunk. If he's not fully dressed, he'll finish dressing himself and then he will walk quietly, but not sneaking. He will walk quietly into the room. And if she doesn't respond as he enters, he'll just watch for a while and see what she's doing.
Can you give me a just an average knowledge outer rim? Oh, and by the way, guys, let's do our destiny
it's
things
cool.
first.
Yeah,
I just
that might be
requested a roll.
important for this. Not as good as last time, huh?
Oof. Oh. Okay. So, average core, outer rim, right?
Outer rim, sir.
Isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Fail, but one advantage. You don't see exactly the star maps that she's looking at, but you see one planet kind of pop up on the screen, and you can't see its surroundings. You can just read the script before she shuts it, because she shuts it indeed, and she says, "I hope you slept well, Jaren." And you can see that it was a Dromant Kos. You don't know much about that system, but that's the name that you see.
Interesting.
You slept well, Jaren. You grow ever stronger during your training.
I did sleep well, thank you. I'm quite well rested. And what of you?
Hard at work as always. If it's not your training, it's keeping up with my sister. Trying to determine.
My training is.
Go ahead.
Sorry, carry on now. I'll let her finish.
Trying to determine if being cast out was some sort of punishment or trial. I haven't decided which.
You know, we have talked of this. You're still under your sister's shadow. You need to forge your own destiny. And it doesn't need to be this dark. The dark side offers an easy path to power, but it will consume you.
Mr. Typho, what did you get into under all those years on ice? I'm trying to get out from under her shadow, and strength is one way to do that, Jaren. I think in time you'll understand that fact, but for now, just work with me. You think my sister seeks another Sith Empire? I've been thinking, I don't think she does. And she pulls, several different star systems very quickly through the map, and since you failed your check, it's very hard to kind of determine where in the galaxy she's looking. She says she's already commands a fleet large enough to conquer some worlds. She's secured fortunes. Together, we've secured patrons. You wouldn't believe how many have wagered everything on her success. There's not only fanatics that rally to her banner, there are Sith cultists and those who dream of the old empire while despising the Imperial remnant. You could help me destroy my sister, Jaren. Whether you join me in the end is immaterial. I feel that power begots power, and by simply exercising some, Lord Typho, I think you'll find it's an acquired taste.
I'm well aware of that taste. And it's not one I wish to experience anytime soon. Not until I've... And he pauses, and then he sighs and says, "But we've been over this ground. This is not a good path for you or for me. Seeking power over others as a way to make yourself feel better about yourself. It's an empty path. It's a cup that will never be filled."
Very well, I
You
see
could be
your
more...
viewpoint. Do not think I haven't considered such things in my many years. Remember, you've been sleeping, and I've been hard at work.
I must admit you have learned much. I do admire your knowledge, if not the use to which you put it. I am just concerned. I would happily oppose your sister. What she seeks to do is evil.
Very well.
But to raise you up in her place, you aren't her. She is evil to the core. You've suffered, been indoctrinated as I was. There is hope for you.
There's hope for us, Jaren. And you're exactly right. That's why we should be in charge. We will bring freedom to the rest of the galaxy. Who are you defending? This new republic? You should see the lists. The lists of politicians, the senators, the governors, corporate magnates. They serve her without even realizing it. She possesses records of bribery, betrayal, murder, worse. Enough to destroy careers overnight. If you will not fight for power, Jaren, then consider it freedom. We will free these sectors, and she pulls up the star map again, from the yoke of Lady Vedris. Perhaps I will
That I can do.
survive this adventure. You can end me after it's all over, Jaren, but revenge will be enough for me.
I don't seek your death. I seek a better path for you. And yes, I will happily free those systems from your sister. She has a dark patron, one I am very familiar with. And the secrets he has no doubt whispered into her ear all these years. And there's no going back from it once you really start to listen to those. I had only the barest hint, the barest taste of what he offered, and my journey back from the brink has been hard and is not yet over. Your sister, so many years of listening eagerly, of studying, of letting that evil consume her. There is no way back. She is a threat that must be ended, although it gives me no pleasure.
On that we agree. And I know of whom you speak. And she shuts down the star charts and then stands up and makes her way towards the cockpit, and then sits down in the navigator's chair and starts to plug in coordinates to the navicomputer. We're going back to the mall, to Lost Horizon Station where this all started. There are clues there we need to uncover. And I don't think you have a choice but to go with me, Jaren, because... And she looks out the viewport as if she would see traffic there. Of course she doesn't. Because you don't have a ship.
I will go with you, and I will aid as best I can, but I will not draw upon the Force, not yet. I am not ready. If you will give me a blaster, I will happily use it.
As you enter the cockpit, almost as if you would eventually join her there, you look to your right, and there is a folded set of black armored, not armored, but heavy robes, and the hilt of your old lightsaber.
Jaren looks at her and says, "You would trust me with this?"
She just laughs. Of course I trust you, Jared. By your own reasoning, if you tried to strike me down, that means I would win.
Means we will both lose. Very well. And he goes over and he picks up the robe and picks it up folded initially, and pulls the lightsaber out from underneath, and he runs his hand over the hilt for a few moments, just so familiar, his old master's blade, and then he activates it and the hilt may be his old master's, but the blade is not. The blade is a wounded red crystal, and part of him wants to reject it, but part of him also knows that this is a good reflection of who he is. A Jedi hilt with a crystal that was once neutral, but never had the chance to go to the light, and was instead wounded and turned to darkness. And he thinks that's kind of fitting. He says, "Thank you. I will carry this at your side. But I will not stop trying to turn you from the darker part of your path. But for now, we are agreed that your system must be stopped."
And as you said that, you see the lines of hyperspace form around the vessel and swirl counterclockwise, and boom, you disappear into space. There's a screen wipe, and we see Satir sitting deep in meditation. He is on planet Ordo. A month has passed since most recent events, and dark has been his dreams of late. He's had disturbs to visions of lost horizon stations, of screaming of death, destruction, fire. Hundreds of slaves lined up, chipped, tormented, frozen in carbonite. And yet, he senses to his right, on his bunk next to him, the Starpath unit that will eventually give him directions through the treacherous nebula of the Maul to Lost Horizon Station, where, through the Force, he is issuing instructions to make contact to one known as Jaren Typho. And he knows that he's contacted a few that he's grown close to over the recent weeks, both the Warrior and Freeman Boss, await him outside on the space pad. The three of them has been guided on some irrational reason to return to the Maul and delve deeper into the secrets of Lost Horizon Station. Satir senses that this is his destiny in some way, and he's about to embark on a grand adventure. Why don't you guys take it away?
Satir sits there, eyes closed, contemplating the nature of the Force. The visions he had been having recently reminded him of the visions of a child right before the Jedi Purge. Visions of horror, of destruction, of untold calamity. It was something that had driven him to the Outer Rim, and the visions became more intense until the Purge itself took place. After a time, as he grew older on Ordo, visions returned to him again, growing intensity of destruction, nuclear fire, Mandalorians suffering and dying by the hundreds of thousands, only for him to issue a warning to those that would listen and those that would eventually escape what became the genocide of the Mandalorian homeworld. And he fears now that these visions, as they become more intense again, that once again some sort of great calamity is about to beset the galaxy. For some time, he's made it his mission to find a way to get to the last horizon, to find this Jaren Typho, because if he is one of the few remaining Jedi, it will take all of them, even those that need to be redeemed or brought back from a darker path. That's what it'll take to stop whatever is coming towards them. And with the vision slowly fading, he stands up, brushes off his robes, attaches his lightsaber to his hilt, kind of laments at his master not being here to help guide him, and, kind of waves his hand towards the door controls, opening it, walking out to an older acquaintance in Vorn and a newer one in Freeland.
Yeah, and Freeland, up until this point, having spent time with Satir and with Vorn after leaving Coruscant, on Coruscant, his dreams and his nightmares had been just that, dreams and nightmares that, evolved and revolved around his time in the fighting pits. It was aggression and pain. And now, out here, around Satir and others, it's turned into something else. His last night before taking off with Satir was spent tossing and turning and having nightmares that he just can't explain anymore. Nightmares of a great maw on a distant horizon with jagged teeth, and it's symbolic of something that he can't quite explain. And every time he wakes up from that nightmare, he has again that pressured feeling in the back of his head that he feels sometimes when he gets angry. And he knows it's something that he needs to address and can't just ignore anymore. So, along with Vorn, along with Satir, and with the fact that he's running, he has no choice but to go with them. But also, he's wanting to go with them because he knows, for some reason, at the end of this line, there are hopefully answers to this pressure and this pain that he's receiving in his head and these nightmares that he's having on an almost nightly basis now. So he just keeps his head down, makes sure that he's got everything he needs, his pack secured, and he walks alongside the other two men.
Can you keep discipline rule there? Doc, for Freeland. Hell, advantage. Just give yourself one strain. It's kind of perma strain for the session.
Okay.
As you've been sleeping poorly, how's that affect like the way you look and your kind of cognition, the way you interact with people? You're being tortured by your past is catching up with you.
It doesn't have that big of a difference with how he interacts with people because he's kind of a gruff ass anyhow. But he's obviously a lot more along the fatigue side. He can feel the strain of the nightmares he's been having and the questioning that's been going through his head, the pressure building up in his head at the back of his neck. It is having an effect on his ability to kind of focus on what he's doing. So that's the strain he feels.
Orn has been kind of turning a lot of stuff over in his mind recently. After so long kind of wandering aimlessly and more avoiding things than he was ever going towards anything, he's now got conflicting duty. He told Satir he would help him and Mako, but then he swore a blood debt to Freeland and Sulla. So it's actually been a little bit of a relief to him that after introducing Freeland and Satir, because I don't think they knew each other, that they're traveling together, because that enables him to fulfill part of what his obligations to both groups. And he did have some reservations about leaving Ordo, leaving the refugees, and leaving Sulla. But out of the two of them, Freeland and Sulla, Freeland's the one who seems most troubled, and Vaughn believes he's the one who's going to be in most danger soon, so he feels his duty is clear, but he's unsure of how to navigate this new world he's finding himself in. Would Satir have told him much about his nightmares and how it's connected to the Force, etc.? Because I don't think Vaughn knows much about the Force, but he's always willing to learn more about
Yeah,
it.
it could have been something along the lines. He would have told him, I think now that he's more comfortable with him, he would have kind of shared that, he is, in fact, he's seen, has Jedi training despite spending the majority of his life amongst the Mandalorians. And he would say, as a child, one of my strongest gifts was that of foresight. And people often asked how I couldn't prevent great calamities with these, snippets of possible futures. But the problem is, foresight is not omniscience. Take a wall that you're trying to climb or a rocky surface, and as you climb, you grab what you think is a strong rock or a crevasse that will hold your hand, and yet it gives way because it looks strong, but it turned out to be weak. That's kind of how foresight works. You see possible futures, you see things that could maybe give you some sort of advantage or help, but until you actually get there, it's not guaranteed. And that's where I find myself now. I find myself along this path. I feel like the Force is guiding me, but just because I can see the path doesn't mean I know every safe footstep or, way to travel along the way.
Vaughn doesn't say anything for some time after you say this and seems to be weighing it up. And he says, navigating difficult paths is what I always used to do. But it was nothing like what you're describing. This is, it's like a path through a jungle where you can't see the next step ahead. Don't know if I could do that. If there's anything I can do to help Satir, please let me know, but I don't know how I can. I have a question, though.
Of course.
The two dark figures we ran into on Maldo Kreese, they had weapons a bit like yours. Were they Jedi too?
In a sense, I wouldn't call them Jedi as those that used to belong to the Order. They are what I would call fallen Jedi, or perhaps even Sith. Like many things in life, the Force is a balance, a positive and a negative, a good and an evil. The Jedis were the good. They believed in order, protecting the weak, knowledge, wisdom, whereas those, like the two we encountered, they fall under personal strength, power, becoming better than their others at the expense of others, and willing to hurt people to accomplish those objectives. Those are the people that try to manipulate the Force, that try to control the Force instead of letting it guide them. And those are the people who can become twisted by their own ambition.
It's a bit like the Empire. Yeah. Well, thank you. I'll know a little bit more about them if we next meet. Not sure how it helps, but I'll think on it. What do you think of Freeland so far?
I would say in the time, he's probably used sense on him to kind of get a feel of his character like he does with most people. And, he seems like a good individual, perhaps a little conflicted, like many of us can be at times. But from what I've been told from Sulla and Sulla's friend Turio and yourself, he seems like he had a rough go for a while on Coruscant, and pride made him do something that got him in trouble, and as fate and the Force would have it, he ended up here. But I look at it as the Force guiding people to where they need to be. We might not understand some of the choices and consequences of those choices, but in time, like Freeland, hopefully it is revealed to us.
So you think everything's predestined? Not sure I like the sound of that.
I think the Force guides us, but the choice ultimately comes to us. We decide whether we make the right choice or the wrong choice, or perhaps the wrong choice that we thought was the right choice. It's not about preordained. It's about giving you the opportunity. It's a flow of sorts, and that flow can veer wildly to and fro, but I think there's a general flow of things that we do our best to kind of steer.
Looks like it marks the trail and we decide whether to walk it, right?
It's like a hunter. You see the tracks, you see the signs, but ultimately it's your own individual choices that lead to being successful or not. Right.
Interesting. I've got a question actually for I guess you and Bo. If Satir was using sense on Freeland, would he have sensed his ability in the Force?
I don't think he would have tried to search for him having the Force unless he felt like there was a reason to.
Right. I didn't know whether there's something he would just feel naturally.
I don't think he just kind of goes around and goes, I'm going to dig into that brain and see if I can feel myself some, midichlorians. I think it's more like, did he do something that would warrant him going, does he have some sort of connection?
And
I didn't know whether he had to actually actively do it or whether he would just passively sense.
Yeah, and Freeland doesn't do any kind of meditating. He doesn't do any kind of focusing on the Force. He doesn't put any thought into it. He doesn't. I mean, he has no indication whatsoever. He doesn't put out any kind of energy that might be perceived as the Force.
Yeah, makes sense.
He's probably been actively, subconsciously, suppressing it even.
Yeah,
It's not
that makes a lot of sense.
not a thing to want either on accident.
Fair. Okay, so Vaughn after that does spend a lot of time kind of watching and thinking and wondering what lies ahead and planning. So he's not the most sociable on the journey. A lot of time preparing, cleaning his equipment, making sure all his gear is where he expects it to be, and going over in his mind like what he would do if he were faced with these dark figures again, but he can't get a really good plan that he's happy with, and that bothers him. So yeah, that's probably sours his mood after a while.
So the three of you, although the spaceport on Ordo may be hustling and bustling, the three of you slip off on this clandestine mission and crawl into the craft, and Satir uses the Starpath unit to compute a path through the mall that's all these little tiny micro jumps that would have been impossible to manually calculate or do on your own. And they go ahead and get sent off. On the other side of the galaxy and on the other side of the Force, another shuttle exits hyperspace near the mall. This time, Jared and Emma / Lady Ketra are next to each other as they look through their viewport and see the mall and Lost Horizon station in front of them, hanging there in space, framed by the mall itself, as if this station, enormous though it is going to be devoured by the vastness, the void of the galaxy. And the first thing Emma says is, we're here. If it's the period of our sensors are working, and Jared leans back as if his wife asked for directions. And you guys, exit hyperspace, and you see this giant thing in front of you. Itself changed them all here. So you're getting this picture from about this angle. And I'll let you roleplay that. Well, at the same time, the other folks are visiting hyperspace down around here. So we'll go over to Jaren and Catherine first.
So Jaren, seeing this, stares at it, and what does he know about this station? Sounds like she'd mentioned it before, but maybe just as a name.
Yeah, she told you about Wasterizer Station. You know what you knew about it from the last campaign still, of course. But from your time there, she filled you in that it was very ancient. Nobody knows who really created it, but it's passed through multiple hands over the years. It was probably part of the old Sith Empire. It was probably then part of the old Republic. As they researched what it was, it probably became forgotten during the time of the Galactic Empire, and then was served as a hub for Project Sepulchre in storing all these ancient secrets and so forth. And that's exactly what Emma's sister, Lady Vedris, plundered when she kind of awakened Jaren and all those old acolytes and everybody that was stored, because they were too interesting to kill and too dangerous to be left free. But there might be other secrets that she didn't uncover.
It's a pretty big station, yeah.
Yeah.
Jaren...
So you like,
Right, so there could be all sorts of things hiding there. Yeah, Jaren kind of stares at it for a while, and he's really lost in his thoughts, because he's kind of following this whole train back through his past and thinking about, there's this still, right back from his earliest days, he's been fascinated by the history of Force users and just the ancient history of the galaxy. All these secrets, these lost times, always fascinated him. But he also remembers, as that old excitement that he hasn't felt in so long kind of kindles in him. He then immediately remembers where that led him. That it led him to picking up a Sith holocron, which led him to talking to Nell Kreblis, which led to him, under the influence of his companions at the time, doubting the Jedi way and ending up, and that then took him down a dark path. And then he looks across at, the woman now calling herself Lady Kethra, and he realizes he's starting to think for her by that name as well, which is a little unsettling for him. But he finds that it fits her more than her old name, because the person he remembers as Emma Bala, she was much younger, she was more naive, and using that name for this woman just makes him sad. So he then thinks about, the tortures they went through, and how there was this whole chain that just led from that one moment. And thinking about that, this moment of innocent joy he felt at the prospect of ancient secrets is doused and swamped by memories of old pain and bad decisions. So he looks at it for a while before he speaks, and then says, "Place full of old secrets, Lady Kethra. What is your plan?"
She's focused. She, a seductive but somewhat wicked smile surges across her phase as she looks to her left and looks at you. And there's debris all over the place, Jared. And your sensors are totally down, but she just expertly piloting this craft through this debris field and these ion storms. And you must realize that she's using the Force to do it and has some points to spare to use sense on you. And so she senses your emotion, at least at the surface level, and senses the curiosity that you have about this place. And she says, I'm not going to interrupt your thinking, Jared. I sense that you're entirely curious about the station and its history and sequence. Don't delve too much though, Jared. You might uncover things that disturb your sensibilities. You know that the ancient Sith Empire ran slaves through this place, don't you? And that the Old Republic freed those slaves, but in doing so caused a slaughter which resulted in a retaliatory genocide. And you would read about those and the holograms and messages you were taught in the Jedi Academy. I had to learn those things from my older sister. She was useful that way.
So much history, so much pain, so much suffering. The quest for power saddens me.
Good. He's sad, Jared. Almost as good as anger. And she pilots the craft into one of the hundreds and hundreds of bays around the periphery of the station. And then the scene switches over to Satir, Thorn, and Freeland as they get closer and closer to this space station.
Yeah, it was during the trip here that Freeland took a moment to try and get some rest, try and catch up on some sleep during their travels through hyperspace. And it was during his sleeping that he again just began dreaming and having images, and he was having dreams of that face that he remembers, that woman that he remembers from when he was a child, that woman that held his hand and helped run him through corridors and then outdoors as blaster fire was heard in the distance and explosions handing him off as he descended into the depths of Coruscant. He could picture her face over and over and over, telling him to hold on to his training staff and passing him off. He was having that dream when all of a sudden it turned into a nightmare, and he saw that maw open again, and it was just as he was turning in turmoil from seeing that maw as when they dropped out of hyperspace, and he woke up here with the others just coming out of hyperspace into this location.
As they're traveling through hyperspace, though he's already kind of, set his piece, he tries to find, he knows there's trepidation with Freeland and Vorn, and he tries to kind of help them understand how he feels by maybe kind of having a similarity or a camaraderie with Vorn. It's like, I know what horrors were visited upon the Lasat, and the Jedi face those same horrors. And I read the reports about what you, Sulla, and Freeland did to rescue your people back on Terrace from that rogue Mandalorian clan. And I feel in a way that is what I'm doing. There are so few of us Jedi and Force sensitive left in the galaxy that I'm willing to risk my life to save one. And I believe this Charon Typho is here, possibly being held against his will, or being corrupted by these dark Jedi, these Sith, and I am willing to put my life on the line to save them. Everyone saved is another chance to bring the Order back from the brink of annihilation.
And what if we're too late? You said he could be corrupted. I'm don't say this to torture you. I'm just...
There are many examples over the thousands of years in the order of those falling to the dark and then being brought back to the light. It's a constant struggle for some that are deeply connected to the Force. But there are many tales of those that were redeemed and rejoined the light side of the Force. There are some that are truly lost and irredeemable, but there are others that just need to be put back on the right path.
I'll trust your instincts on this one.
And
You're the guide here.
If he's too far gone, I know Jedi don't take revenge, but I was raised by Mandalorians too, and I've learned a thing or two from them as well.
Vaughn nods. He looks across at Freeland and says, Freeland, how are you doing? You look tired, mate.
Freeland is doing what he normally does, the thing that makes him feel most comfortable when he gets like this, and he's wrapping his knuckles, he's wrapping his fists. He basically unwraps and wraps, unwraps and wraps. It's just kind of that's his form of meditation and focus. He just keeps unwrapping the bandages and rewrapping them. And as you turn to, say, hey, you don't look, you're not looking that great, he's kind of half listening to your conversation with Satir, and he's just has his head down. Well, I can't say to know much about the Force. I don't know how much I'd put into ancient religions. I just know I'm here with you two. You two have helped me along the way, and for whatever reason, I feel like, well, you're the right two to be with right now. So right now is what I'm focusing on. I'll be better. Just gotta get off the ship and move around a little bit. And he shakes his head a little bit and unwraps his bandages again and goes back to wrapping them.
And Vaughn nods and says, I know what you mean. I get a little restless when we're stuck in a small space like this for a while. I need an open sky over me. An environment I can read.
Freeland, laughs at that. Open sky, yeah. Well, coming from the bowels of Coruscant, I didn't really see a lot of open sky. It wasn't something I was really used to. I stayed down below pretty much my entire life. So the open sky doesn't really help me out. I've had my fair share of cages, and he looks around the ship. I'm just tired of being in cages.
Well, as soon as we dock, we'll be able to set you free. But I will guide us as best we can, but we must be on our guard. We must remain vigilant. I'm not sure what we're getting into.
And when you say, we must be on our guard, Freeland looks up and just smiles at you, a half smile, and he tightens the bandages around his fist one last time, tucks the bandages in and nods in agreement.
Then you guys, you dip the ship towards one of the many docking bays. As you come closer, you see that some sort of backup power is certainly on this place. There are red lights flickering everywhere, but it certainly doesn't seem brightly illumined. Whoever's piloting this vessel, I want to send a piloting check to. Who's at the stick? Vaughn looks like he's the best.
Vaughn.
We thought it was the Uber driver.
Yeah, Johnny Cab.
Johnny Cab. Vaughn was looking to learn a bit of piloting actually. So
That's pretty good.
yeah. Actually, I probably should have spent some on that. I was meaning to ask Kaelin to teach me. But yeah, I'll just stick with the 4 greens.
If they would want to do, I'll send it to you. I'd love for a challenge nice in there to allow the possibility of the despair.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
But yeah,
Okay.
You used a dark
natural.
side?
no,
I didn't flip one. No.
No, bow.
no. I just did difficulty with just 1 purple, 1 green.
Oh, I see. Okay.
One red. So you pilot give yourself a strain, but you pilot this thing in and land it into one of the hundreds of bays there. And as you do so, you kind of lower the ramp and it clanks on the hard steel plating, and it echoes and reverberates. That, as far as you know, you're the only one home.
Okay. Yeah, Vaughn eases out his tense, stiff shoulders. It's kind of like when when I was learning to drive, I would often like hold the wheel in a death grip, and that was kind of what he was doing with the controls, and he's really tensed up, and he's kind of got sore, stiff shoulders now. He kind of eases those out, and lets release a breath he didn't realize he was holding until now, and looks at the others and says, "Well, that was pretty smooth, I think."
Yeah, Freeland pats you on the shoulder as he, steps off as well. Good flying.
I've really got to
Well
teach
done.
you. I really need to get Kaylin to teach me how to do this properly.
There would have been a certain sense of irony if we finally made it all this way, only to have a fiery crash into the side of the station.
And Vaughn smiles in a kind of slightly tense way. He goes, "Nah, I think we'll be fine. We got here fine. Taking off's the easy bit, right?"
I knew a Mandalorian once that said, jumping out of a shuttle is easy, falling is easy, landing is the tricky part.
Yeah, we done that bit. Yeah, all good. And he gives a sort of tight smile and says, "Right, let's get going." Kind of considers his sniper rifle, but he shoulders that, and from his other shoulder he takes off the blaster rifle, and he holds that in a kind of ready position, or across his body, but up near his shoulder, and says, "Well, I think we're following you, Satir."
Very well.
Yeah, Freeland follows in behind Vorn, keeps Vorn between him and Satir. Freeland takes up the rear, and he's just scanning. He's looking behind them, looking all around as he takes a position behind Vorn to keep him between us.
Let's see, Satir, can you give me a force check, sense?
A sense check, yes I can.
Yeah, you don't have a map for this place, but you sense a powerful force user kind of deeper down to the station, if you can consider the station kind of a wheel with a hub and spokes in the outer rim. It's towards the center. But
Yeah.
oddly, it's just there's a whole presence about this place. It's almost like the dark side version of Dagobah, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he's kind of in front of the trio, or leads the trio, and he kind of stops, closes his eyes, and puts a hand out with his palm, or with his hand open, and kind of just feels and sways back and forth, and he can feel the dark side of the Force crawling through the station, and he finally kind of locks in on a strong Force user and opens his eyes and kind of as a warning, he looks to Freeland and Vorn, and we're not alone. And they're this way, and he kind of waves a general hand, and he takes his lightsaber off his belt, and he doesn't activate it, but he now has it in his hand, knowing that, there is someone here.
Freeland looks at you and you say that, and he stretches his neck in an arc around his shoulders, and he raises his shoulders and drops them. Of course we're not alone.
As you say that, you guys leave that shovel bay and head into the deep, dark and twisting corridors of the space station. It's oddly in decent shape, but if you've ever been to the early age of Werewolf, you just sense the gravity of the place, and this architecture certainly has that. I think Juan stepped away for a minute, so he's the only.
No, I'm back.
Okay.
I didn't lose back. Sorry.
The two force sensitives. There's going to be a macro on the side. If you look and scroll down, it's called Lost Horizon Station. Force echoes. When Freeland and Satir each to click on that, table and roll.
Where was that at?
Under macros?
And it's called Lost Horizon Station Force Echoes.
I don't have that in my macros.
I probably I'll give you guys ownership. Hang on a second. All players, observer, save changes. Okay, now see.
There it is.
You want us both to roll?
Yeah, one at a time, please.
Okay, there's me.
The children. As you guys are walking through the corridors, there's dim lights and there's some various shades of red pulsing glow on the track lighting, and it's almost as if you're getting hypnotized going around the bend. And Freeland, as you walk around this corner, it's like you see a bunch of shackled children with manacles, and as they march past you, they just kick their head on past you, and one of them looks up towards Satir as if he sees it and says, "Help me, Jedi, please help." And then the vision goes away. Roll a hard discipline check. I will send it to you. The hard discipline. 3 purple balls.
Yeah, as soon as Freeland sees that, he makes like a lurch forward, almost instinctively to try and help them. And for some reason, and he doesn't know why, he had images again of him as a child and seeing the other kids from when he was young being rushed out and being escorted through hallways and different doors, and that pressured feeling ripples up his neck into the back of his head as he sees that. And when that child addresses Satir looks at Freeland looks at Satir. Did you see that?
No, see what? And he kind of like looks around, not anywhere near where Freeland would have saw the echo. I don't see it. What is it?
There was a child. I can't explain it. It was a child, and he was being taken down the hall. He looked towards you and asked for help.
Vorn, did you see any of this?
And you turn, and Vorn is already facing in the direction where Freeland saw this and is pointing his rifle in that direction. He says, "No, nothing. Not even a movement. I mean, maybe I missed it."
Hear him?
No, definitely didn't hear anything.
I sense that this is the dark side of the Force at play. It seems the facility was used for something. And he kind of searches for the right word. something sinister, something that goes against the good sensibilities of the species of the galaxy. And I'm sure there's echoes of that pain here. And he kind of looks at Freeland and kind of gives him the first inkling that, a normal person probably wouldn't see something like that or be attuned to see it. And he just kind of catalogs that into the back of his mind. He goes, but if you see it again, let me know.
And Freeland just shakes his head as if trying to dislodge something stuck in his brain. And he shakes his head. Hey, yeah, I'll let you know.
So I'm taking a cue from the floor on this session, and instead of analyzing you, this entire place gains shadows, this entire place gains aura, and so I'm adding a dark side that I can use to the full.
Okay, makes sense.
And
You want to roll then?
yeah, now it's your turn to roll. Memory is stronger than flesh. Yeah, as you guys go through, like because serves as a data center of sorts, you see the ghostly visions of Project Signature scientists debating on whether emotion and the Force can survive indefinite carbon suspension. One quietly insists memory is stronger than flesh. Give yourself a discipline check. Same thing hard, I'll send it to you. Discipline, they have 3 group.
And meanwhile, Vaughn is saying to Satir, not knowing he's going to have this vision, and he's saying, can this dark side make us see things?
Potentially. There are those who use the dark side of the Force to induce visions, some of a horrific nature, though it is common for other Jedi to use simple mind tricks to make you hear things or see things to distract you.
See, that's worrying. Okay.
Yeah, and Freeland is, again, he's in the back, and he's looking around even more now. He's making sure to keep checking corners. He's looking behind him as they were going through those records and whatever they discovered there. Freeland is rubbing the back of his head and the back of his neck as he checks every shadow and corner.
On the other side of the space station, a similar craft, much sleeker, most likely than Satir's vessel, lands and...
Much cooler.
Yes, those are the best for this. That's what it is. And
No, I'm just saying cooler than Satir's because it's dead.
Lady Kethra and Jern exit their shuttle. And as they do so, it's immediately apparent to both of them as they resonate with the dark side, whether consciously or unconsciously, that all they're surrounded by these shadowy figures of ancient Sith, of the dead and tortured of the old Republic, all sorts of menacing things. And as they disembark, Catherine just looks straight ahead and says, "Continue on, Jared. They will drive you insane if you let them. As this place's dark side energy. Use it if you can, but at least don't let it serve as a distraction."
Jared nods, his teeth gritted. Discipline has always been his difficulty, and he's trying to summon up every inch of discipline he has, but it's a struggle. He's tried to kind of shut himself off from the Force, and he's pulling on that again now. That determination not to be someone else's puppet again, and he uses that to just give him first of all, just to set his will against this influence on his mind, but then realizing that he needs to. He gets a sudden insight that he needs to balance this. So against the dark feelings going through him, he sets calm. And after a deep breath and a moment to settle himself, as he closes his eyes, he opens them again, looks at her and nods, and says, "Well, lead on."
She kind of smiles and she does lead the way, but as she does so, you still, visions are on either side of you, so I'll make you roll on the macro table too. It's the same thing as them.
Where do I see that?
So, sidebar right, macros, and it's called Lost Horizon Station Force Echoes.
Yeah. Macros. Got it, yep. Execute. Okay, Sepulchre lockdown.
Yeah, so as we see, like sometime towards the end, as the Empire was falling, you see that in here, this place kind of erupted into klaxons, and alarm doors start to slam shut, and people get stuck in here, and you hear the sound of deaths and dying. So, give me a discipline check that's hard. I will send it to you. And here's the choice that you can make, though. Those two dark pips that she I have you set this for. I'm gonna switch you over, if that's okay, from now on.
Yep. Jaren? Yep.
You'll be making your debut as Jaren.
Okay.
Let's see here.
I played Jaren before.
User config. Jaren. Save. Now, try to redo the rest of the I mean, how to do it. It's just difficulty 3 is a free purple. But
Yep.
those two dark side pips, if you should choose to use them to rely on her strength, you can use those as free successes, but you gotta take
Oh, no. No.
If you fail it,
No.
the whole place gets another dark side point. Do you want another team, do you?
Oh.
Oh.
Decisions. No, I mean, Jaren just wouldn't.
You can decide. You can wait. You roll first and decide.
Okay. Roll first and decide. I will do that then. Is he strong enough by himself? Okay. In that case, what I'll say is I will draw on her strength, but I'll use the triumph to mitigate how much it affects me. That I kind of draw on her strength, but I don't let her influence into my mind too much, if that's something I may do.
Okay. And I just won't change the ticker then. But you take this one conflict.
Okay.
And she kind of notices that. And notices your struggle, even against overwhelming odds, and your spirit. And it maybe inches her towards your direction a little bit. And then you disappear in the hallways, and she seems to sense exactly where you two are headed.
Jaren's mouth twists in frustration for a second at his own weakness, but then he realizes that frustration's another trap, and he just needs to let it go. He tries to calm his mind again.
Right. Let's see if I'm led by a break.
Sure.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
I have a bad feeling about this.
It'll be fine. Maybe. Just gotta find out how much Jaren likes the Emma Poon.
The Freeling got fortunate the last couple of times he had to roll for his what is that the force sensitive guys roll after at the end
For you roll your D10.
conflict. Yeah, their conflict.
You do bad if you do something bad.
He's gone up the last couple of times, and I attribute that to he was doing good things, helping Vorn and his people and the Mandos and whatever. I don't know if we're going to be in any situation where he's doing good things here.
That's kind of like Sadir. He's like 1 point away from being a paragon of light. But I'm like, all his choices so far have been easy. So now, like, here comes some of the hard choices.
Yeah. I think Freeland's going to go downhill. I have a feeling in this scenario. He's going to let his anger take over.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after seeing frickin' ghost children that are reminding him of, the Jedi Temple when he was a kid.
Ghost children, freaky doctor experiments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not liking this. Yeah. Wand.
I'm gonna grab a phone charger while he's AFK.
All right, backpack.
All right.
It looks like OBS is still running. Wand is back.
No.
Right.
You there?
I am indeed.
All right. Yeah, so it might be an hour, might be 2 hours, but you guys continued through this maze and maelstrom of hallucinations and ghostly images. Almost never are you able to resist them, and you're quite disturbed as you emerge into this giant, what you can only think as an antechamber, right before the kind of center hub of this entire place. And the Vorns, Tyr, and Freeland, as you enter it, into this large open area bathed in red light. And it's like the sense of claustrophobia is just lifted. And you see a giant center console illuminated red, some sort of computer console, and it's surrounded by all sorts of arcane appearing instrumentation and machines.
Freeland just kind of shuffles his way in, eyes somewhat widened as he's just looking around, taking it all in. He gently walks across one of the consoles and just runs his fingers along the corner of one of the edges as he's looking around. And then he takes his, brass-knuckled hand and kind of just clacks it against the console just to hear the weight and the density of it as he lets out a little bit of a whistle. It looks deserted and old in here.
Old, yes. Deserted, no.
Vaughn looks unsettled for a moment, and he goes over to here and does something they haven't seen him do before, which is he tends to go barefooted, and he's got these big splayed toes, and you see him kind of effectively run up the wall here, and kind of run up, spring off it onto the top here, onto this little ledge over the door, and then he crouches down with his rifle in his hand and kind of sits there, kind of overwatching the chamber. And he seems to feel a little better now with a little bit more of an oversight over the place.
Satir, unaware Lasats were capable of doing that, kind of almost watches in shock as he does it, and then kind of gives a half smile or grin. He's like, well, I guess that's one way to have a vantage point, but good to know that you're on Overwatch. And he kind of steps towards the central console to see what information he can kind of garner.
And Freeland looks over at Vaughn as he's doing that. He has a kind of an amused look on his face. I'm glad the one I fought in the cages down in Coruscant didn't do that in the cage. And he just shakes his head and turns back around.
Vaughn kind of just nods and stays very intent on trying to watch as many of these exits as he can. He doesn't like this chamber. He's telling himself it's just because it's very open. There's too many entry points here. It's very difficult to cover it all. He's in very little cover. His friends are in very little cover. But really, it's not that. There's a dark aura to this place, and he can sense it. And that's the kind of stuff he always dismissed as kind of superstition, imagination, etc. And he's now wondering whether it's all the force he's hearing about, and he doesn't understand that, and he doesn't know how to deal with it, so it's very unsettling. So he's trying to do what he can do.
Satir, give me a hard computer check.
That's 2 difficulty or 3?
3.
Alrighty.
You want to flip a point?
No, not for this.
Okay.
He goes on there and kind of types away. He's like, not sure what the heck he's even doing.
He can't figure out what this is, and he just matching keys, apparently. I'm going to use the dark side point here, show you something. But eventually, just as happenstance of the Force would have it, you flip through this giant database, and it has all these Force users, and it looks like all of them have been stolen, like all the files have been accessed, and this isn't what you're looking for exactly, but you can see that it was recently out of character, would line up with the time that Lady Fenris was here. But then you all see also files. In Freeland, you're the one that notices this. About Feast of Jedi. Satir, your name is on there. As at large. Unaccounted for, there's a file on you. Freeland, you see that there's a picture of you there. With all this information about you. Living in the bowels of Coruscant. All your activities day to day. That they've been tracking you and keeping their eye on you the entire time, and most importantly, there are notes on there that read to the effect of, subjects should be observed. Already displays aggressive tendencies, will require minimal to no retraining.
Freeland, as he was standing by the console as he was walking by it and kind of running his knuckles along the edge. He turns and looks and sees Satir open up these files. His eyebrow raises a little concerning when he sees, the image of Satir saying something along the lines of wanted or whatever it was. He didn't really pay a whole lot of attention, but it was interesting that he saw Satir on there. But it's when he sees himself on there and turns and takes a closer look, and it's talking about his time in Coruscant, without even really going into any more detail. His brow furrows, he stands up straight, and he takes a deep breath in, and he shoves Satir. "Ooh, what did you bring me here for? Did you know about this? Who are you?"
I mean, Satir's kind of like surprised. He's like, "What do you mean? Did I bring you here? You came voluntarily. This is clearly some sort of station where they kept track of Force users." And I assume he saw Freeland's, data file as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and he goes, and he kind of looks at him and he understands his anger and frustration, and seeing maybe the Force echo earlier makes more sense. He goes, "So you're Force sensitive. Were you at the temple?"
Freeland turns away from Satir, and he's shaking his head as he starts walking away. "I don't want to talk about this.
Calm yourself. This place has the dark side flowing through it. Don't give in to the fear and anger. That will only lead to ruin."
As you
And
say
he's...
that, you hear a door open. And into it, like almost as surprised as you are, instantly two black-clad figures with hoods up. And they looked up.
"Shoot him, Vorn."
Jaren
Warren
won't have
shoots Jaren.
Yeah, Jaren will not have his hood up. Yeah. So you just see this figure looking very much like that art I posted, just looking a little tired, a little, not as in hasn't had enough sleep, but as in just a weary expression. Probably his expression is quite tight, as if because he too is fighting the darkness of this place. Before his eyes go wide on seeing you three. Although maybe just the two, I don't know whether Vaughn's that immediately obvious.
Was there ever a picture of Jaren Typho in his dossier that we kind of uncovered?
I think there probably would, yeah.
I mean, I guess if there was pictures and stuff of us in the database, he sees Jaren, and he sees the other black-clad woman. Can only assume it's one of the two from when they're on the ice planet. Its name escapes me at the moment, but he Maldo Kreese, is that it? And he looks and he goes, "Jaren Typho?"
And
Jaren looks across at him and says, do I know you? Sorry, you're going to say about Freeland.
No, and Freeland he's looking back and forth between Satir, between the other two. He doesn't know if he recognizes Jaren or not. He looks at Satir and he is completely confused at what's happening here. Just seeing his face in the file, seeing these two strangers walk in. Freeland's looking back and forth and he's backing up kind of away from all of them.
I don't think you know me, but... And he doesn't bother explaining himself because he knows he would understand. He goes, the Force brought me here.
Force has two sides. I see by your robes you know one side. There's another side at work here. One that thrives on misdirection and conceit and deceit. Are you sure that your feelings are clear? And he doesn't sound sort of seductive or like he wants to trap you. He just sounds weary and his voice is a little tight.
Oh, there is no deceit here. My visions have been crystal clear. The Force has guided me here. That gave me the name Project Sepulchre, which has led me along a very long journey to here, and it seems that forces of ancient evil and of old have used this place on Forge sensitives for ill, for disturbing experiments, and I know they brought you here and put you in carbonite because they deemed you an asset too difficult to control but too valuable to destroy, and I'm here to free you of this hold. And when he says hold, he looks towards the woman.
Jaren shakes his head. Says, some chains we forge ourselves. I think you're talking not so much about freeing as curing. I've been in a dark place for a long time, friend. I don't know what you expect from me, but I'm an empty bucket. If you're looking for help, I'm no Jedi anymore.
Freeland's listening to this conversation and he just finally... What is happening here? Why am I in that record? Why is my face there? Who are you? And he's looking over at Jaren.
Well, your friend seems to know me.
And it should be obvious to you, Freeland. We're all Jedi or Force sensitive in some way. And my friend here was captured, tortured. He claims to be an empty bucket, but no one is past redemption. And just because the Jedi Temple is no more and the Order's been destroyed, that doesn't mean I discard their laws. Just because we're beyond the Jedi Temple, we don't no longer say, these lesser people are too weak to protect themselves and to let them be corrupted, to let them die. There are laws like the Sith that enslave men, and there are laws like the Jedi Order that set them free, and we either hold to be what is right and good and true because it is good and true, or we're just another... And he kind of waves a dismissive hand to the woman who hasn't spoken yet, someone who gives in to the darker side of the Force.
And Freeland feels that kind of rush of energy along the back of his neck and undulate up to his scalp and his head. And he puts his hand back behind his head and rubs his head before bringing his fingers to the bridge of his nose and pinching it and clenching his eyes shut and shaking his head just a little bit in disbelief at everything that's happening here, still concerned and angry about seeing his image and his information in a file in this place that he's had nightmares about, and he's shaking his head and doesn't know what to do with himself right now. He's just kind of in disbelief of it all.
Jaren had been about to reply to Satir because he can on one hand, he admires that strong sense of what's right, but to him now, having walked the path he's walked, it just seems so self-righteous. And he wasn't sure what he was going to say, but he was opening his mouth to say something. And then he sees Freeland, and he feels such a strong connection to what Freeland's going through. And with his hand nowhere near his lightsaber or anything like that, he takes a step towards Freeland and just holds a hand up and says, "Please, you don't understand the danger you're in. Your danger is coming from your own emotions and the aura of this place. Just take a breath, calm yourself. I urge you. This is dangerous. In this place, rage, fear, the conflict that is going through you, the way that you are about to react, that will have real consequences. I don't want to see anyone else walk that path." And you notice he glances just for a second, seemingly without realizing he's doing it, he seems to glance over to the woman. And then back to Freeland. And he does seem to have real concern in his eyes.
And Freeland, he takes a deep breath in and kind of puffs his chest out a little bit, and he walks back up to this console. Rage, you want to talk about rage? And Freeland punches the screen and smashes it. Why is my information here? What is this place?
As you say that, the lady in front of you, catty corner across the console, all of your senses, it's almost as if she's faltering. She's like leaned over at Jerry. You never sense this sweetness and Kethra. And she says, "It's because they've been watching you. They've been watching all of us for so long. Only some of us didn't escape the net. And you Jedi speak. You speak highly. You speak with words that are lofty in a tone of silver, but where was your order when Jaren suffered? And I suffered, and we faltered. No.
And as she says that about Jaren, you see him almost like gives him an involuntary twitch, like he's feeling old pain.
She says, "They, the Jedi, the Sith, both of them used us, Jaren. That is why we can only rely on ourselves. I can rely on you, you can rely on me. We grew up together in this painful place. Although something deeply is wrong here. And, as she says that, I will use a dark side point again. And you see, this door up here. Activate and come open. This will be find the best song.
No, now Vorn, shoot, Vorn, shoot.
Let's see here.
Can't interrupt the GM's monologue. That's just rude.
This figure kind of emerges down the steps, and he extends his left hand, and Kethra, continuing to falter, it's almost as all of you can see this like faint trace of energy come from her into his palm, and then he just flicks his palm, and she whack flies against the wall and is knocked unconscious. And you hear a voice say, "Can you hear me?"
Huh?
I don't hear it.
Yeah, now we can.
Yeah. I thought maybe we were going to use a voice changer or something when you said that, yeah.
Can you hear the voice you're
Oh, no. If you were... Yeah, we can hear you, but no voice changer.
Okay. At last, exactly as Lady Vedris foresaw, she awakened me from 1,000 years of blessed silence only to find me lacking, broken, and incomplete. A rasping laugh escapes from the armored figure through his breath mask. She knew I would be. She always knew. Yet a broken blade may still draw blood. His crimson blade then falls upon Emma and her broken body. Lady Kethra, whether as trial or punishment, Vedris foresaw you would bring Jaren here exactly as destiny demanded. Did you speak to him of your sister's plans? He looks over towards Jaren, Lord Typhus, and all that he may accomplish in the coming days. His attention drifts slowly to Seer and the others, as though seeing them for the first time. And your sister was correct, as always. Others have answered the station's call, those strong in the Force, those foolish enough to believe they came here by choice. Now, kill them. Let their fear, their anguish, their final despair awaken the ancient sorcery sleeping within these halls. Their deaths shall become the foundation, and upon the bones of the vanquished, the infinite empire shall rise again. The armored figure then extends his right hand, and a crimson blade ignites to snap this. And I would like somebody to roll me a 1d6.
Who's feeling lucky?
I'll do it. I'm feeling no luckier than usual. But there we go. Oh, there we go.
Yes, that's very good. That's very good. Yeah.
That's a Jaren roll right there.
Oh, man.
That is very good in this instance. All right. Let me change music here.
And while you're doing that, Jaren will respond to the guy calling him Lord Typhus and say, "That is not a name that has any meaning for me now. I am simply Jaren, nothing more. Not much, but what I am stands against you." And he ignites a red lightsaber too.
All right. Let's see here. I need to put, I think Freeland, you're kind of over here.
Mm-hmm.
And Vorn, I'll put Vorn up here. All right, let me grab the tokens and I will roll initiative. Let me see here. I think that's right. It's going to be cool.
Is it cool for all of us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you sending us the roll?
It's in the.
It's in the combat tracker.
Oh, duh.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that.
And I gotta add 2 force dice because of Force C.
Okay, so I'm rolling for Vaughn.
I will use my 2 light, not the dark, to add to my
done.
successes.
I rolled Vigilance by accident. Give me a second. That should have been. And then I rolled it with 2 difficulty. Done it. So it should have been 1 1-1.
1-1. Okay, which one was yours, WP? First of all,
3-3, so it should be 5-3.
it's not going to really matter. You'll end up first. And what was yours supposed
And
to be?
Vaughn's 1-0 should have been 1-1, but it probably doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, that should not matter.
And then I don't think I'll be able to roll Jaren's initiative. Maybe I can.
I'll roll it for you.
Okay. Okay, that's pretty decent.
Yeah, this thing. Let's see. I don't know my sound effects. As he does that, these kind of like test tube looking things erupt, and these two creatures flanking the Sith juggernaut kind of stagger out of it. They're corporeal. They're made of flesh, but it's almost as if these lines of dark force are holding them together.
And Jaren turns to the others as he prepares to run at the juggernaut and says, "Freeland, do you think you can hold these things off while Satir and I try and take this guy down?" Actually, he doesn't know his name, does he? He doesn't know either your name, so he'll just say GG.
Pointy head.
Yeah.
Hey, Grumpy.
Yeah. Probably call you the Brack and Blueskin.
Yeah, when
no,
you're,
Jedi.
When you're trying to get Freeland's attention, you notice that he's already clapping his fists into his other hand and walking, in this direction. He wasn't even listening to you. He's already basically taking off to the closest one towards him.
Does he do the thing from Mission Impossible with kind of reloading his fists?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Nice.
You're going first. We will begin combat.
I'll go first if no one minds, because I can reach him in 2 moves?
Yes.
So I'm going to get to the Juggernaut. He ignites his green blade and runs at him. So I'm going to take 2 strains for that second move. So let me adjust that first. Then I'm going to attack him. I'm going to flip a light side point to upgrade it. And then I have 1 setback dice. Is that for something of his?
Yeah, it's defense.
All right, and then I should have 1 blue dice for duelist training. And then I'm going to use my sense ability to upgrade my check 2. So I should have 4 yellow, a blue, a black, and does he have adversary, anything like that?
He does. Thanks for reminding me. I always forget.
He's got the chevron, so
I should have one purple, 1 red.
Adversary 2.
Oh, so 2 red, no purple.
Correct.
Okay, 4 yellow, 2 green, 2 red, 1 blue, 1 black. Alrighty.
nice.
Succeed.
Damn.
That's good. That's very good.
That's a critical as well.
That's 2 criticals.
2 crits. So
So-
you have to damage them first for the crits to happen.
Is that true? Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's.
I think some damage has to get through, doesn't it?
I think no. Criticals are separate.
I'll see.
Look it up. That's
Yeah, I think they are.
I know this might be different in this system. But a lot of systems are like that. We'll see. Because he would use parry.
You have to do at least 1 damage.
You have to inflict a wound.
A wound. Okay, a wound.
Yeah.
So he's going to use parry. He has 3 ranks in that, so that'll mitigate 5.
5.
And it has breach quality, so 4. So 4 will get through. Because you have breach.
All right. Yeah, I do have breach, or I have sunder, breach, whatever.
So he takes
Okay, so
4 wounds. You can probably crit him twice if you'd like.
yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'm gonna crit him twice.
So Ted, you're on now. If I click on that 1.0 macro, it should add a critical hit. Let me see here.
You can drag it, so it'll create it, and in the chat window you can drag it onto a sheet.
Okay, sweet, got it.
I think that's how it works.
So I need to roll twice.
No, I'll roll it twice because you hit him twice. So you get
Okay.
26 first of them. Discourage.
And then add 10 to the next one.
Move. Yeah. It'll do it automatically. So move 1 player to the game master pool. Okay, so use a dark side point. That's pretty good. And then he'll roll it again. And then he'll say how many existing critical injuries, and it'll be 1. Oh, that's pretty good.
Nice.
That's a great one. That's a great one to
That
get.
means they can't aim either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have to take strain for any. Well, I guess they could aim from movement. They'll have to take strain.
And he has to take strain to move.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I can now drag these onto the juggernaut. Oh, that's awesome.
You're welcome.
What's that look like narratively?
Narratively, he goes running across there, Naruto style, with his green lightsaber, and they kind of engage in a quick, duel. And Satir, being a Makashi form lightsaber technique, he does a series of kind of very fanciful maneuvers, kind of overpowering the juggernauts, more armored and style and slow and defensive. And he gets in with a quick attack across, maybe the shoulder. And then as he reels from that, he quickly kind of crouches down, slicing across his, leg, connecting in the back, causing him to severely become even more slow and in the responses to Satir's attacks.
Next good guy's up.
okay. Do you mind if I go next, Doc?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so Jaren's going to close that same distance, running in. And he also will attack with his lightsaber. It's a long time since he's used this. Oh, actually, I didn't set the difficulty. Actually, I should have set it too.
It's default. It's 2.
Okay.
But yeah, if you target him and then use
Oh.
the shoot,
Yeah.
it'll roll damage. But you can roll. What's your lightsaber? It's 6 damage if I recall. Right?
Yes.
Yep, standard lightsaber 6.
Yep. So he'll take another 3 strain. Get you in through that. 6, that'll be 8. That'll mitigate 5 of that. We'll take 3 wounds. Well, one of them gets through. But it's like one of those glancing blows when Luke hits Vader, right? The little sparks come out. Ah! Oh!
Yeah. And that's me done. Okay.
And 2 strain for the extra maneuver.
Yes. And I wasn't able to claim a slot there, so I don't know whether we.
I wonder why. Oh, I didn't.
Did you finish your
I
turn?
didn't advance it, that's why.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Okay, now I'm in mine. Okay,
Enemy's
done
turn.
it.
It has to be him. Has to be him. Ooh, I didn't make you upgrade yours. It's my bad. I guess that's why he'll attack Jaren first.
Okay.
So target him. And he has to use a strain Just to aim, I suppose. So we have to use 2 strain for that. And he will attack. And he will also use Falling Avalanche. Suffer 2 strain to add damage equal to Brawn to next lightsaber combat check.
Ooh.
This is gonna hurt me.
I've got parry 2.
Let's see.
That can get rid of 4 damage.
5. It's 3 plus.
I thought it was-
3 plus rank.
It's
Oh, is it?
2.
2 plus rank. Yes, it's 3 strain. 3
Yeah.
strain. Right.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Basic lightsaber. Difficulty 2 is going to aim.
Farewell, my old Padawan.
So he has to use strain to aim.
Yep.
Oh, I did not want that.
Oof.
He'll actually use the 2 advantages to gain back 2 strain because he needs that strain now. And that's hit for 12 wounds. And you get to decrease it by, what'd you say? 5?
4.
4. So that's 8. 8 wounds.
And then 1 for my armor, so 5 total, I guess. Yeah. One
It
for the,
bypasses-
heavy
it
rolls.
bypasses soak.
Oh, of course it does, because yeah.
Because of Sunder. Or
Because of
Breach, I
Sunder,
mean.
yeah.
Breach.
Oh, it's breach, is it? Yeah.
And
Okay.
and then let's roll your crit here. We'll crit you for slowed down.
Uh-huh.
Now you have to
Okay.
be last next turn.
Now
Yeah,
you have to be
fair enough.
last.
Yep.
I will drag that onto your sheet.
Cool.
Trying to find where that does show up. Oh yeah, critical injuries, very cool. What does that look like, Jaren? As you are slowed down.
Yeah, so Jaren rushes in. He's and Satir will see his lightsaber form is different. He uses Shen form, but he's looking rusty. And as he comes in, he does manage to strike a moderately effective blow, but he leaves himself way too open. His movements are just that little bit off, and their enemy just sees it and strikes really hard into his lightsaber. And Jaren almost manages to parry it, but the parry's form isn't good enough, so it collapses a little bit, and the lightsaber strikes straight into Jaren's arm and his into his shoulder, and his movements just slow down as he's trying to move a painful arm with this line branded into it.
Oh, give yourself an additional 4 wounds.
Oh, okay. So how many wounds is that total?
So 12, 16.
Oh, I'm out then.
Well, 16, but you reduce it by 4.
Oh.
So what's that, 12? Yeah,
Yep, 12. Yeah, okay. So, actually, yeah, Jaren is badly injured then. He's cradling
Yeah,
that shoulder and he's...
use that falling avalanche technique.
Right. Ouch.
He's just a little, rusty. He's been on ice for a while.
Exactly, yeah. And he hadn't used the lightsaber for a long time before that because he was on the run for about a year.
Just so I know, how's it 16? So Falling Avalanche is what, 1 per...
So he adds his brawn as straight damage on top of the hit.
So what his bronze what, 4?
Yeah.
So shouldn't it be 13 damage? Or what am I missing?
9. Oh, I thought it was 12. Okay, sorry. So 9 plus, it'd be 13, sorry.
Okay, so I'll take 9.
So it'd be 13
Cool.
minus 4 for your parry. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, WP.
I'm just trying to save you to the light side.
Thanks a lot.
Oh, I know where I was getting 12. Because I saw 9 plus 3 successes, and I automatically, but it doesn't ask for you on top. That's sorry. I'm not trying to kill you
Nice.
on this first episode of you back.
What a twist!
I am kind of. You can't do that. I know he could potentially kill somebody, so. Best of luck. Good guys up.
Yeah, so Freeland standing there immediately rushes towards this guy here and engages him. He doesn't know if it's the lights, he doesn't know if it's his anger, but he just sees the red get redder and his temples just pulsing. When he engages him, he wants to initiate his fearsome talent, forcing that guy to take a fear check against Freeland as Freeland charges him.
What's the difficulty on it?
He has fearsome 2, so it's difficulty 2.
Failed.
So with a failure, he takes strain damage equal to the margin of failure. He I don't know what that means. Equal to the margin of failure. Okay. So he takes 1 strain damage. He gets a setback die. And that's it, unless I get other, like...
Is that an action, or now you still get to go?
No, that's just talent he just engaged him with. So he has a setback die on his actions against Freeland, and takes that strain damage. So Freeland rushes and charges him just with a crazed look in his eye. And as he's doing that, he swings around with his fist that he's, kind of been clutching and punching different things already, and brings it down on him.
Either crit it, which would kill it, I think, probably. Or
Oh, yeah. So Freeland comes in, and like I said, he's just got a wild look in his eye. He's got that pulsing red in his vision, and he sees that thing kind of pop out from there and immediately charges him. He brings his fist back, rushes it towards him, and puts it square in his face, and he can just feel the crunching and the squelching as his fist goes through his nose and into his mouth, and he can feel the wetness and the moisture kind of wrapping around his fist as he knocks this guy to the ground and watches him bleed out.
enemy. This guy, what's he gonna do? He'll take his action and just move towards you, raising the spectral blade in your direction. Claim that. Then it's Warren's turn.
Okay, is medium range going to be enough to hit the other dark side ray?
You want to hit the Juggernaut?
Oh yeah,
guy,
I guess. No, he's moved right over. Right, okay, yeah, I'm going to go for the dark side ray to help Freeland. And I am just using my modular rifle. Is it only one difficulty from here, or is it two?
2.
Okay. Hey.
Smoked him. Kills him.
Nice. And we just get that sort of classic movie moment where the wraith is closing in behind Freeland as he's facing the other one, and then as it gets close, he just gets a blaster bolt through the head, and Freeland looks up, and Vaughn just nods. And Freeland nods back probably, and then that's it.
Don't mind, I'll claim the slot.
Yes. But the
Yes, it's the
Sith,
good.
he raises his hand, and more of these things start to materialize. Somebody else roll me a d6.
Yeah,
try this time.
not wand.
Oh, fair.
Eh?
3.
Yep.
Yep. Roll initiative. All right. Updated, I guess. Yeah, that's updated with him. Who's going first?
Where are they? I'll go first.
Oh, I need to put them on this thing, huh?
They're in the other room. They're taking their time. We killed all the ones in the
They're
room.
right down here. They're coming out of the test tubes. Ah! All right, you guys are up.
All right, I'm going to target him. So I'm going to do similar to last time. I'm going to aim. Then I'm going to flip a point dice to upgrade my ability. Upgrade ability. Then I'm going to use my sense ability to upgrade it again. And then I got to get rid of 2 purple and add 2 red. That looks correct.
Yep, it's 2 red.
So put it to 4 and 1. Alrighty, here we go. Oh!
It's 3 crits if you want.
Holy shit.
Oh. Cheer for MVP.
He's going to spend his strain. Okay, he's going to spend his strain. I'll bring him up to that. And that will be 2. Let's divided by 5. So 4 gets through 11. Okay, you want the quick crit him 3 times? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, and in fairness, be sure to flip it from 5-0 to 4-1 for light dark.
In fairness.
Yes. Fairness. Yeah, we're critting him 3 times.
Yeah, baby, let's go. Here we go. Here's the first one.
So is this plus 20 now?
Yes. This first one's at plus 20. At the brink. Oh no! A blast lanes through along the target suffers 2 strain each time they perform an action until this critical injury is healed. Oh no!
Ouch.
Dude, he's got no strain left.
All right, here comes another one. Here comes the next. Let's go roll on that critical hit team. He has how many do he has now? 3.
Yep.
So it's plus 30.
Gruesome injury. Roll 1d10 to determine which target's characteristics is affected.
Oh, Jesus. Permanently reduced by 1.
7 for intellect. That will not affect this combat.
No, lame.
Well, he's got one more.
He hit the
Head wound.
He's got one more.
head wound Harry. You remember that skit.
This is his last one. Oh, that's Force Echo. You don't want that.
I hit him so hard it echoes through the
So he
force.
has 4 up on the Horrific injury.
That's crazy.
Oh, hold on. That can't be right because the base roll on the last one was 100. Oh, no, the base roll is what you rolled, isn't it?
Yeah, he rolled real low.
Modify there. Okay, modify 30, 40. Yeah, that goes as a modifier. Yeah.
1d10.
There we go. Strength brawn. Good.
Braun gets
Whoa. Yep.
Right,
So it's he just does this like another unleashes a flurry, and his lightsaber's almost a green blur.
His intellect is one now as well.
Yeah, he hits him right in the helmet, and it goes through and it hits him right in the side of the temple, and then he slices down, maybe cutting across his bicep, slicing through the muscle, like permanently reducing his upper body strength. And what was the first one? Oh, at the brink. Yeah, and he just keeps... It's just a death by 1,000 cuts. He's just slowed. Every movement is strenuous, and he's just getting overwhelmed.
Next slot. Can't be Jaren. He has to go last.
Does Vorin want to go and shoot another Wraith, or what's Freeland want to do?
Yeah. I'm
Shoot the far one.
yeah, can Vaughn hit the one over the far side?
Yeah.
At medium range?
Yep.
Okay, great. He's going to go for that. So I'll claim a slot. Okay, it's claimed. And... Okay, rifle. Hey, nice.
Death.
Excellent. And I'm done. Oh, advantage is one. I'm going to pass an advantage to Freenin. If I can, possibly die. Rather to whoever happens to act first, although we know it's going to be Freenin.
Exactly.
Yeah, because Jaren can't go again.
Bad guy slot. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna use 2 strain? He's gonna use 2 strain to even act.
Yep.
I'll use 2 strain to
He's
act.
hurting.
Yeah, and I'll attack the Satir this time. So
I'm going to use Sense on him and upgrade the difficulty of his attack by 2. So upgrade it twice.
Alright, he'll use 1 to upgrade his as well. Alright. Difficulties upgraded twice, you said?
Twice.
What will you have?
Oof. Not horrible, I guess, but
So
I will use my parry. So I'll take 3 strain. I have parry of 3, so it'll reduce it by 5.
So you take 3 wounds. He has 3 advantages. He will crit you once, and he will regain 1 strain.
So he still loses 1.
Alright, and we'll roll the crit here. How many existing crits do you have? None?
0.
Stinger, that's weak.
Increase the difficulty by 1 next turn.
just your next check.
Yep.
You guys will have to go see Senka.
Right?
Yeah. The doctor is in.
Wraith will close on Freeland, but he cannot do anything else. And next friendly's up.
It's going to have to be Freeland.
Yep.
Freeland, seeing this one rush at him, immediately braces himself, turns towards him to meet him, and rushes back towards him, comes into contact, which forces him to take a fear check. Difficulty 2. And 2 failures, so he takes 2 strain.
Okay.
What was the other one?
Gets set back on his stuff.
Yeah, he gets setback die, all the other stuff.
That's it.
And I got 1 threat, so extra threat on a failed check adds extra strain or disorients. So I'm going to disorient him as well,
Okay.
which basically gives him another negative die, setback die. So as he's rushing towards him, and all that's taking place, again, Freeland just brings his fists up again out of just pure anger and hate towards whatever these things are. Flings his fist at him in an attempt to just do whatever he can to take them out. And I'm going to use a...
Light side.
Yeah. And that upgrades, right?
Yeah, and you get a free... Yes, it upgrades, and you get a free boost. Remember that. It might,
Yep, and it's
in there automatically, yeah.
Yeah, it's there.
And besides the sheet itself, I like the actual system of the FFG, like the Foundry module. I think it works pretty well. Dude, 10 kills him.
Yeah. So again, Freeland's fist just meets the flesh and just crushes everything between his fist and that guy's skull.
Next friendly slot.
That sounds like Jaren then, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jaren is not moving, so Jaren is going to aim, which I guess is a blue die, right? And he's going to try and finish the guy off with his lightsaber. Bom, bom, bom. Boost.
No.
Replace these with reds. Oops.
Oh.
Fail 1, threat 1. Oh, same result.
Okay. So failed, but they do have an advantage and a triumph. So 3 advantage. Let's do the help spending results. So I'm gonna upgrade the difficulty of his next check. And he is disabled instead of suffering wounds or strain. I think that'll be it. Yeah, I'll do that. Target is disabled instead of suffering wounds or strain.
Okay.
And yeah, upgrade the difficulty of his next check. Unless WP, you'd rather I upgrade the ability of your next check. If you're going to act on.
Disable him because you didn't cause any wounds or strain.
Oh, just on my attack, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I thought it was
Depending on what you want to do you have strain you need to recover?
I've got some, yeah.
5.
I do have 5, but
Because you could pass maybe a blue on to me and recover a couple strain. I don't know. I'm just thinking options because I'll be the
maybe
next
that's
one to
more
go.
sensible. That's more sensible. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'll recover a strain. I will pass. I'll recover 2 strains. Sorry. I'll pass a blue to you, and for the triumph, I'm going to upgrade the ability of your next check.
Okay.
Yeah, rather than upgrading his difficulty. Let's do that.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Good teamwork. The dead guy is this one. Claim it for him. And then this other one. You'll have to use this entire turn to get in front of Freeland. These guys are just being meat shields, apparently. Alright, how many of those are dead? Let's see here. There's going to be one more that activates. And I think, yeah, it's just these two left. Just only 3 initials left. Okay, we're good. Satir, you're going first, I'm guessing?
I would say yes. All right, so I'm going to use, I got to get 2 red. That's number 1. I get an aim blue, the blue that was passed on to me, the blue from duelist training. Then I get to upgrade the ability. Then I'm going to upgrade it again because of the triumph. And that should be good. Should I flip it with light side point or not? It'll just give me 1 more green.
I would.
Yeah, let's do it. What are we doing? We got Force Ghost, we got a Juggernaut. What am I doing here? All right, let's flip one. Do 3-2.
Jesus.
No. Crits this time.
No crits, but damn.
You used the upgrade? I was a bit distracted.
I did use upgrade. Real quick while
Okay.
I'm thinking, Stinger, I need to increase the difficulty. So that means I need to roll a purple, correct? So let me do that real quick. Nothing.
He goes down. He tries to get past you guys. He can't even get into the room. He goes down and grabs the guardrail like Vader. And he's like, kind of hacking at you with his saber. As he's almost ready to go. Next slot.
This time Jaren can claim it, right? Or is he still effective? Oh, no, he's still got that critical, so it just affects him for the rest of the combat.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I'll go next then.
Oh,
Yeah.
on their next turn, it says.
It was only 1 turn for slow
There's
down.
only 1 turn.
Yeah.
Excellent. So if you don't mind, Doc, I might try and finish this guy off.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if I can do it.
Kick him while he's down.
And I will aim again.
Oh, hey, too late. I was going to say, take my advantage for a blue.
Ah, damn. Do
Take my advantage for a blue, because I had 1 advantage.
you mind if I add that?
Yep, and I will do these two
Okay, let me...
instead.
Oh, yeah, and I didn't add... I didn't do these.
Same result. Roll that
Okay,
blue
let me
die.
just roll blue. Yeah.
All you need is 1.
No.
No.
Well, somebody's going to get a lot of advantages.
Yeah, he's just like.
Okay.
He's just like.
So-
He's barely narratively just parrying him, right? He's like down on his knee as you're like hammering on him. He's crossing a saber.
Yeah. So yeah, Jaren is. Let me have a quick look. Bom, bom, bom. So yeah, I'll pass a blue to Freeland, or to the next character basically, and I will recover two more strain, and I'm done.
his turn. He's going to try to pull on his strength to come up and kill both of you. And he extends his left hand towards Jaren and starts to close it. All right, let's see here. Let's see, force rating.
PTSD for Jaren.
Force rating. Oh, yes.
Wow, how appropriate.
You suffer bind. You cannot take any actions. And you take 3 wounds as well. The bypasses soak, bypasses everything.
Okay. Yeah, getting pretty badly injured now. Okay.
Typho! You hear this voice.
Turn your lightsaber on Satir.
And Jaren can't really move most of his body, and he's kind of struggling, and I don't know whether he's lifted off the ground. And he just looks back at the guy and sort of says through gritted teeth, "No, I'm not."
He had to suffer 3 strain to do that, by the way, so...
I was going to say, does that make him suffer strain doing that?
Yes. Yeah. It's an action.
Nice.
He's almost...
He ain't doing well.
Bad guy's turn. It is... This guy's in front of Freeland. Finally, he can use his maneuver to aim. It says electroshock prod, but narratively it's like a phantasmic saber.
So he's engaged.
Yes.
So he has to take a fear check once he becomes engaged with Freeland.
All right. Okay, so fear, then a setback if he fails.
Yeah, and a strain, or depending on how many it fails by.
Discipline.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fine.
And Freeland,
Oh, you start.
with that, yeah, before you roll anything, Freeland, that warm feeling on the back of his head and the back of his neck and his kind of pulsating in his ears and everything, senses that guy coming at him, and he immediately turns to face him and has just enough advantage, sense advantage, which gives him 2 setback die on his actions against Freeland.
And this phantasmic saber passes by your left ear, not doing any damage, as this thing. Friendly's up.
Yeah, I'll take that one. Yeah, Freeland sensing him come at him, and he turns and sidesteps just enough as he feels it coming by him. To Freeland, he feels like he got lucky. He felt that attack coming, and he turns to face him. And as he's turning to face him, his arm is already in motion to strike. Yeah, and again, he sidesteps, gets out of the way, and with his arm already in motion, he connects with that sap glove and he just feels the skull crushing under the weight of his glove.
Dun, 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 dun. Thorn, you up? Thorn is up.
Okay. Vaughn is going to go for this wraith that's coming towards him, I think. Vaughn. He's going to aim. And... Wow.
You guys are rolling nicely tonight.
Well, you have.
Yeah. but
Dang, that's a lot of
monsters.
advantages. Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's okay. They're dead. They're dead just on the damage.
Okay, great. So I am going to got here. I can't do much. That's all against the target. So I'm just going to can I do the blue boost die to an allied character's next check twice? And then one to the...
It can't be to the same person.
No, but I can do it to the other three characters.
You have enough, yes.
Yeah, so if I spend one for the next character and then 2 lots of the 2, then I can give it to the 3 characters. So yeah, you get a blue die and you get a boost die and you get a boost die. That's what I'll do.
So you guys all get a boost die. Back to the top.
Well,
Satir finishing.
the light dark should be 3-2, by the way. And I say that because I'm going to use another one and flip it again. So let's see here. 2 red. Upgraded twice. Aim. Plus a boost already. Plus another boost. And a setback. Alrighty.
I see a lot of hits. I see a despair.
Regret and despair.
I know exactly how to handle this. Tell me what happens as you kill this guy.
He's doing the Darth Vader and holding on to the railing, and he's just like wailing on his lightsaber, and he finally bashes it away and brings it across into his torso, killing him in the process. It's just a thorough, lethal blow, finishing off this evil relic from a bygone age.
Combat ends as he is smitten, smited, smoted. All these raids surround you guys. The corporeal forms become immaterial and they kind of go into thin air. But as this Sith, this ancient Sith is killed, its armor just implodes in upon itself. And all this dark matter energy seems to rush towards the middle of the room. All of your guys' hair stands on end as this electricity kind of fills the air. And this dark energy just shoots from the middle of the chamber skywards into the air. And then if you were a ship on the outside, this entire kind of facility activates and sends a giant wave of dark energy into the mall. Beneath your feet, the only thing you guys can feel is the entire place trembling. And Lady Kethra slowly comes to her feet. What has happened? What is going on?
We have defeated an ancient evil that tried to hurt you and destroy us. And it summoned some sort of dark side specters to assist it, but we defeated it together.
But in death, it seems to have done something. I can't see. Can you see? And Jaren, looking badly injured, kind of stumbles towards the center of the room and tries to look up to see where this energy's gone.
There's like a light kind of just straight above something. Like you can kind of see out into the stars. And you just see this energy shooting into the void.
Whether it's become one with the Force, sent a warning, or a distress, I don't know, but what I do know is it is time to go.
I agree.
Stumbles over and kind of helps Typho up. Jaren.
Thank you. I never was much good at fighting against lightsaber wielders. And he tries to grin. And he turns to Satir and then looks at Kethra and says, "We need to talk. If you lead the way, we'll follow you."
You'll forgive me if I don't know whether to trust her. Will you come with our ship? She can come with us.
Perhaps we could meet somewhere on neutral ground.
I know a place.
Very well. Send us the coordinates. We'll go our own way and meet you there.
Satir kind of hesitates, wondering if that's a good idea. But he says, Ordo. Meet me on Ordo.
And Jaren seems to recognize that name. He says, Ordo. Right. And he gives a ghost of a smile and then winces in pain. And then says, Ordo it is. I know the coordinates.
Satir's kind of surprised at that. I mean, it's not a well-known planet in the Outer Rim, outside of Mandalorians, but he nods and he kind of looks at, if he can, he's going to do a sense on Jaren to see if he's sincere that he's going to meet him there. I don't know if he can oppose it or not, or if he wants to.
I don't think he'd have the energy, really. He is sincere. His emotions are turbulent. He is, and you get the surface impression of. What's his name? Your old character.
My character, or
yeah,
Satir?
No, your old character.
Sulla? What?
No, from the previous campaign.
Oh, Titus. Titus Ordo.
Thank you. Yeah, a young Titus Ordo. You get a brief impression of him because we met, right?
Yeah. Well, yep.
And and you get a brief impression of a young Titus, just flashes in, and then Jaren glares at you and says, "Stay out of my mind."
You'll have to excuse me. I traveled halfway across the galaxy, did things to find a way here, and now you're leaving with her. You'll excuse me if I want to make sure you're being genuine.
You could have just asked.
You could have lied.
Yeah, most people just have to trust each other. All right, we'll see you there.
Very well. And he's going to wait for them to turn and leave before picking up the Juggernaut's lightsaber and tucking it in his belt.
Yeah, fair enough. Actually, has the Juggernaut got decent armor? Because if so, Jaren might might stop to grab some of that.
I think he imploded.
Oh, he imploded, didn't he? Yeah. Fair enough.
He did the old Witch King routine.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, anyway, that makes more sense anyway, because Jaren isn't really up to hopping to take stuff off her body. So, yeah, Jaren sort of leaves, supported by Kethra.
And Kethra, as you and her stumble down again the dark corridors, it's as if the place is now dead, truly dead. The animating force and the dark side aura of despair has dissipated. And I've changed Kethra from hostile to neutral token.
Ooh.
And she kind of helps you, and you just kind of stumble into the ship together, both badly shaken by what you've seen. Tell me what the other three look like as they head back to their ship.
As they're heading back to their ship, he kind of looks, there's a sincerity in his voice when he looks to Fraley, and he knows he's rattled and he's on edge, and Tavorn, who was much more, calm from his perch, he goes, I thank you both. This is an important first step, and both of you had my back while I dealt with that thing, that evil menace. But we need to get out of here. I don't know, now that this dark side has dissipated, I don't know how, if the orbit of this will destabilize and crash into the maw, force willing.
Thor nods. He said, that was pretty impressive, Satir. You're a good fighter. He turns to Freeland and says, are you all right, Freeland? Looks like that was a lot.
You turn to Freeland. Freeland has his fingers, laced together behind the back of his head, and his head kind of tilted up just a little bit. And then when you say his name, he drops his hands down to his side and turns to you, and lifts his hands up again, and he's looking at the kind of the gore and the mess that was left on his gloves, on his bandages, and he wipes his hands down the front of his coat and his pants. Yeah, I'll be fine. I can't pretend to understand what any of that meant. I don't know why my name would be in that system. I don't know why I had dreams leading me here. I don't know how I ended up, and he turns to Satir, I don't know how I ended up with you. And as they're walking on the ship, Freeland goes to his backpack that was, left in the corner, and with Satir, and Vorn right behind him, he reaches around his backpack, strapped to the side, and he grabs his training stick, and he brings it out. He hasn't shown it or, displayed it to anyone. He brings it out and walks back up to Satir. I saw what you did with the saber, and it was impressive. And he hands the training stick forward to Satir. I'm sure you've seen one of these. You must have. This is as far as I got in my training. This is the only thing I've learned to use. If you could maybe train me a little more, I think I could use that.
And Satir kind of nods, seeing the training staff, and it kind of harkens back to his earlier days as a youngling, and he looks at Freeland and in his best Harry Potter, he goes, "The reason you were in that database is you're a Jedi, Freeland."
And Freeland drops his head and closes his eyes. I never finished that training. I never finished that schooling. I'm no Jedi. I'm just a lost soul from the bowels of Coruscant, like any other lost souls from the bowels of Coruscant.
You didn't have an opportunity to finish your training because of the Empire, but they've been defeated. And if a Jedi is what you will, or what you want to be, you will be.
Freeland nods at you and just kind of, and he turns around and walks back into the ship and doesn't say anything else. He just kind of retreats to a corner.
Vaughn, take us out of here, if you will.
Vaughn seems deep in thought, and when you speak to him, it seems to kind of rouse him from his reverie, and he nods and takes a second to kind of scan the controls again before he takes the ship hesitantly out of the bay before speeding up and then hitting hyperspace.
All right. One more scene. So, far away on the other end of the galaxy, at this time, or maybe some time before or shortly after, Jedi Master Luke Skywalker sits in silent meditation in the dense forested world of Dagobah. He senses the goings-on in the mall, the pieces on the chessboard that are moving, and somehow is able to maintain his own inner calm. Until to his right, he hears a beep, beep, boop, boop, boop. What is it, R2? There's some more electronic chatter, and he stands up and he says, "That's okay. I think we have ways to overcome that. I know the foundations here on Dagobah are difficult to build buildings on, but the foundation of the Force is strong with this place. This would be a most wonderful place to build an academy. And then we will end it there."
Bum, bum, bum.
Hey.
We
Awesome.
did it.
Awesome.
Okay.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. Jaren's back.
I think that's a tenor.
Hey.
We had a tough guy to beat,
Yeah.
but we had some really good rolls.
That's basically the end of an arc.
Yeah.
There was some good character progression.
Oh yeah.
We got Jaren, kinda.
Yeah.
Didn't have to kill Lady Kethra.
Which surprised me. Yeah.
I was wondering if that was going to be like the test there to take her out, because she wouldn't let you go.
Yeah, and then how would Jaren navigate that? And yeah, more emotional damage.
Freeland finally recognizes and accepts his Jedi background.
Ah,
If you guys
Yeah,
disabled that guy without killing him, like you were going to do with that Triumph, that would have changed the arc of the campaign.
Disabled which
The
guy?
guy that died. We needed a blood. We needed sacrifice. We needed somebody to die in that scene to activate this station. That's what Dangerous wanted. And it happened. That was a good one.
If only it would have been just enough to cause damage, he could have disabled him instead.
Oh, he's about ready to go unresponsive.
I couldn't. He took a ton of strain.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's a juggernaut. Yeah, I gimped his HP, but I didn't give his strain. He had a lot. That was good. That was a good one.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that Jaren's all about fighting people with blasters, not fighting with...
Also, Shien style, yeah.
Yeah, well, not even necessarily Shen style.
Sounds like it makes a
Although
good
it's
buddy
kind
cop.
of good.
Good buddy cop episode there.
Yeah, but yeah, this is what happened when he first met Beatrice. She absolutely